Good morning, I'm Paula from Chic Emporium, and today we are going to do a little video transforming this rather grotty picture frame that we found in a junk shop into something shabby and magnificent, and I'm going to be using some of my Annabelle Duke products today. Right, to get back where we're at, we had a few customers, so we had a pause and we cracked on a little bit. So to catch you up, this is an old frame that we got in a junk shop. I've done two and a half coats of classic white Annabelle Duke as a solid colour on both the back of the cardboard and the frame, and then I have put a coat of crackle over all of it. So now we are going to use French grey on the top, and I'm going to use a sponge, which I like using a lot with crackle. You get a more even crackle effect, so quite a lot on the sponge and quite a quick motion. We're going to be using some IOD stamps, which I love, to create some kind of quote, and we're going to be doing some decoupage as well to really shabby this up. So it's going to have quite a few stages, and I've never done this before on a frame, so we'll see what I can do. So I put the grey on, and because I had to put it on quite thick because of the angles of the concave and so on, you can see the crackle, but perhaps not quite as much as I would have chosen. So what I've decided to do, as always adapting, is do a technique called wet wipe distressing. You can just use a normal wet cloth, but I've always got wet wipes to hand, and you just use it to gently rub over the paint while it's still a little bit soft and wet, to take away some of the top layer. It's more effective than sanding at this, because sanding always tends to go straight back down to the layer underneath that you started with, whereas this is actually pulling back and showing the white, which I think is really nice. So I shall complete all the rest of this in the same way, and then we'll move on to the next stage. Right, so I'm planning on doing some decoupage, and I've chosen this napkin to go around the edge in various places, so that's sort of giving me some colours to work with. And I'm going to use this IOD stamp with the board, and I've already started placing some of my letters. Now I tend to use acrylics when I do the letters, just because they seem to be a bit stronger. You can use chalk paint, but for this, because it's a quote, I want it to stand out. So I use a stipple brush because it's a bit less messy than a roller. And I'm just spreading nice and even. Good thing about this grid is it helps you put it in a straight line so it doesn't go flying up the page. Okay, I've decided to try and make it stand out by using a different colour for this word. This is as far as I got with the letters without duplicating, so we'll have to go back in and fill the gaps. Right, here we go. So I'm just going to centralise it as much as possible. Got one shot at this, so and then press it down. Yeah, look at that. So I've got if you were, so I need to move my E to the right place, and then I need to take all the other letters off. Some are stuck more than others. Okay, I'm going to take flower off as well for now. Probably didn't need to move the E, did I? There you go. So, again, try and line it up nice and straight. Push. And there you go. So I'm going to carry on in the same way and complete my sentence. And I'll come back and show you what it looks like when we're finished. Right, so you can see that we've now completed all the words, quite pretty, and we've started to put the decoupage in place. As always, the paper napkins are made of 3 layers and we've taken off the 2 back layers. Annabelle Duke do a lovely decoupage and transfer paste, which I'm going to use to place my decoupage on the picture. So we're literally making the area that we're going to stick wet roughly, and then place it down. Important to use little and a soft brush for this, otherwise a bristly brush would tear the paper. So we're just gently smoothing out all the ripples. Perfect. So I'm going to move around the whole piece in the same way and then seal it all, and I'll show you what it looks like when we're finished. So I put the picture into the frame. I think it looks quite pretty, and we have used a dry brush with some of the pink acrylic just to bring in a little bit of pink into the frame, because I think that works. And the last thing that I'm going to do is use some of Annabelle Duke's Gilt Cream in a silver, because I think that will really sort of just bling it up, and I'm just going to use it just around the edges of this frame to pick it out. So all I'm going to do is be dipping my finger in and rubbing it on, and see how that comes up. So I'll show you what that looks like when I'm a bit further into it. Okay. Right, so it's a bit messy, but I think I just wanted to show you, I'm just literally using my finger to go along the edges and the crevice, and it's brought it up to a really pretty shine. I think it works really well. This Gilt Cream comes in 3 different shades. In fact, I think it might come in 5, but these are the only 3 I've got at the moment. I've got a gold and a bronze, as well as the silver, which I've used today. But they're really, really effective at finishing a piece off. Look at that. Looks a bit different than it did this morning. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you'll make use of some junky old frames that you find and have a go at making something pretty. Thanks for watching.